Millions of people embark on cruise ships annually, seeking luxury and relaxation. Many cruise passengers are unaware of potential dangers that can transform their vacation into a negative experience. The allure of luxury and escape often overshadows the risks associated with cruise travel. Potential pitfalls on cruise ships can turn a dream vacation into a nightmare. Cruise lines routinely confiscate various items from passengers for safety reasons. Clothing irons are often prohibited due to the risk of fire hazards on board. Extension cords can overload electrical systems, posing a safety risk on cruise ships. Alcohol is often restricted to control consumption and ensure passenger safety and regulatory compliance. Prohibited items in passenger luggage can cause delays. Delays caused by prohibited items may lead to missed onboard activities. Security protocols require thorough luggage checks to ensure safety. Passengers are responsible for knowing and adhering to luggage restrictions. Failure to comply with luggage regulations can result in confiscation of prohibited items. Understanding luggage restrictions helps ensure a smooth and timely travel experience. Certain prescription medications, legal in some countries, may be restricted in international ports. Possession of restricted medications can lead to questioning by port authorities. Restricted medications may result in denied boarding at international ports. Travelers should verify medication legality in their destination country before departure. Cruise ships' cashless systems can encourage passengers to overspend. Passengers often spend substantially more than their initial cruise fare due to the convenience of onboard credit. The ease of onboard spending contributes to higher overall expenses during a cruise vacation. Onboard spending can include various expenses such as dining, entertainment, and shopping. Cruise ships offer various amenities, such as drinks, spa treatments, and specialty restaurants, creating an illusion of convenience. Onboard shops contribute to the perceived convenience, masking the accumulating costs. These seemingly convenient services and products silently increase the final bill. The aggregation of individual expenses leads to a significantly higher overall cost. The convenience of onboard services can obscure the true cost until the final bill is presented. Passengers exhibit a tendency to spend more on goods and services while at sea compared to on land. The cruise environment is intentionally designed to promote increased passenger spending. Behavioral economics explains this phenomenon as a result of environmental influence on spending habits. The feeling of isolation from everyday financial constraints contributes to increased onboard spending. Marketing strategies and onboard promotions further amplify the tendency to spend more during a cruise. Most domestic health insurance policies cease to be effective once a cruise ship enters international waters. In international waters, passengers may become financially vulnerable due to high medical costs incurred without insurance coverage. The absence of domestic insurance coverage in international waters exposes passengers to potential financial risks associated with medical emergencies. Entering international waters creates a gap in health insurance coverage, potentially leading to significant out-of-pocket expenses for medical treatment. Medical evacuations by helicopter can incur substantial costs. Treatment for serious medical conditions, such as heart attacks, can rapidly accumulate tens of thousands of dollars in expenses. The combined expenses of emergency transport and critical care contribute to significant financial burdens. Unforeseen medical emergencies can lead to substantial financial strain. Modern cruise ships are equipped with morgues to accommodate passenger deaths during voyages. Passenger deaths occur on cruise ships, although this reality is often not emphasized during booking. The presence of a morgue acknowledges the potential for fatalities during extended periods at sea. Cruise ship morgues are a logistical necessity for managing deceased passengers until disembarkation. The existence of onboard morgues is a practical consideration for cruise lines, ensuring respectful handling of fatalities. Cruise ship companies must adhere to international maritime laws and regulations regarding onboard deaths. When traveling internationally, laws vary significantly from country to country. Actions considered acceptable in one's home country may constitute crimes abroad. International cruises visit multiple countries, each with its own unique legal framework. Travelers must be aware of local laws to avoid legal repercussions. Ignorance of the law is not an excuse. Travelers are responsible for understanding and adhering to local regulations. Purchasing souvenirs, such as seashells, can result in legal issues if those items are protected wildlife. Certain countries classify specific seashells as protected wildlife due to conservation efforts. The sale and export of protected wildlife souvenirs are often prohibited by international laws and treaties. Unknowingly buying protected souvenirs can lead to fines, confiscation, or even legal prosecution. It is essential to verify the legal status of souvenirs before purchasing them in foreign countries. Medications legal in one country may be illegal in another. Possession of banned medications can lead to arrest at airport security. Arrest due to medication possession can result in denial of entry into a country. Travelers should verify medication legality in their destination country before departure. Consulting with a healthcare professional or embassy can provide accurate medication regulations. Proper documentation, such as prescriptions, may be required for legal medications. Passengers often expect continuous phone and internet access during cruises. Cruise ship communication systems are susceptible to failure, particularly during severe weather conditions. Extreme weather can disrupt satellite signals, impacting communication reliability. Communication failures can lead to passenger dissatisfaction and operational challenges. Robust backup communication systems are essential for maintaining connectivity during emergencies. During storm, cruise ships may experience communication failures. Communication failures can leave families unable to contact loved ones on board. The inability to communicate during emergencies can cause significant distress. Modern communication systems are vulnerable to disruption during severe weather events. Cruise lines are not legally obligated to maintain constant communication with passengers. Passengers are therefore dependent on the communication systems provided by the vessel. This dependency can create potential risks and vulnerabilities for passengers during emergencies. The lack of mandatory communication protocols places the onus on cruise lines to voluntarily ensure passenger safety. Passengers should be aware of the communication limitations and potential risks when traveling on cruise ships. Cruise ship balconies, often marketed as peaceful retreats, can be dangerous locations on board. A significant percentage of passenger fatalities on cruise ships involve falls from balconies. Balcony falls are a notable safety concern despite the intended relaxation and scenic views offered. The perception of safety on balconies may not align with the actual risks present. Passengers should be aware of the potential hazards associated with cruise ship balconies. Attempting to cross between balconies, especially after drinking, can lead to falls into the water. Falls into the water at night significantly reduce chances of survival. Reduced visibility at night impairs rescue efforts. Alcohol consumption impairs judgment and coordination, increasing the likelihood of accidents. Open ocean environments present challenges such as strong currents and low temperatures. The combination of these factors creates a high-risk scenario with minimal chances of survival. Balconies, despite potential risks, are often marketed as desirable features. Warning signage regarding balcony safety is often minimal or absent. The absence of prominent warnings contrasts with the inherent dangers associated with balconies. Balconies remain a significant selling point, potentially overshadowing safety considerations. The prioritization of aesthetic appeal can lead to insufficient emphasis on safety measures. Cruise lines often contract with local operators for excursions. Safety standards among local excursion operators can vary significantly. Passengers may incorrectly assume excursions promoted on board are guaranteed safe. The cruise line's promotion of an excursion does not guarantee the safety of the local operator. It is important to independently verify the safety record of excursion operators. Passengers should research and confirm safety measures before booking excursions. Ziplining and similar adventure activities carry a risk of serious injury. Equipment failure is a significant cause of zipline-related accidents. Inadequate safety measures can increase the likelihood of injuries during adventure excursions. Severe injuries can result from ziplining accidents due to equipment malfunctions or insufficient safety precautions. Cruise lines often disclaim responsibility for injuries sustained during excursions. Passengers may incur substantial medical bills due to injuries sustained during excursions. The disclaimer of responsibility can leave passengers financially vulnerable in the event of an accident. Unforeseen medical expenses can significantly impact a passenger's financial stability post-cruise. Cruise lines sometimes prioritize profit over safety when selecting excursion operators. Financial incentives can lead cruise lines to partner with excursion operators despite potential risks. The pursuit of higher revenue may cause cruise lines to overlook safety concerns in excursion partnerships. The economic benefits of excursions can outweigh perceived safety risks for cruise line companies. Food on cruise ships can pose a hidden health risk due to the potential for rapid spread of illnesses in closed environments. The enclosed nature of cruise ships facilitates the quick transmission of diseases among passengers and crew. Buffets, with shared serving utensils and close proximity of individuals, create ideal conditions for pathogen transmission. Maintaining strict hygiene protocols is crucial to mitigate the risk of outbreaks on cruise ships. Norovirus outbreaks are frequently observed on cruise ships. Health organizations actively monitor and track norovirus outbreaks on cruise ships. The frequency of norovirus outbreaks on cruise ships necessitates specific tracking and preventative measures. Cruise ships, due to their confined environments, are susceptible to norovirus transmission. Close monitoring helps to implement rapid response strategies to mitigate norovirus spread. Passengers experiencing food poisoning may incur significant medical charges for basic care. Medical charges on cruise ships can be unexpectedly high due to the limited availability of resources. Refunds for medical expenses incurred due to food poisoning are often denied by cruise lines. The cruise line's terms and conditions often contain clauses limiting their liability for passenger illnesses. Travel insurance may provide coverage for medical expenses, but policies vary significantly. Buffet utensils touched by numerous passengers can become sources of contamination. Food left out for extended periods at buffets increases the risk of bacterial growth. Contamination risks are heightened in self-service environments due to shared utensils and prolonged exposure. Proper hygiene practices are crucial to mitigate the spread of pathogens in buffet settings. Food safety standards on cruise ships are often less stringent than those required for land-based restaurants. Tolerated practices on cruise ships could lead to immediate shutdowns if implemented in land-based restaurants due to stricter regulations. Land-based restaurants often face more frequent and rigorous inspections compared to cruise ships. The confined environment of a cruise ship can amplify the impact of foodborne illnesses, necessitating higher safety standards. Differences in regulatory oversight contribute to the disparity in food safety standards between cruise ships and land-based restaurants. Stricter enforcement of food safety protocols in land-based restaurants aims to protect a more diverse and vulnerable population. Cruise ships adhere to strict schedules, departing at predetermined times. Passengers arriving late will be left behind, irrespective of their individual circumstances. The ship's timetable is rigidly enforced to maintain operational efficiency. Missing the departure results in passengers being stranded at the port. Cruise lines are not responsible for passengers who fail to board on time. Punctuality is essential for cruise travel to ensure a seamless experience for all passengers. Travelers are frequently seen running along docks as ships depart, illustrating the repercussions of being late. Tardiness can lead to missed departures and significant inconvenience for travelers. Missing a ship's departure results in passengers being left behind. The consequence of missing the ship is being stranded, potentially incurring extra expenses. This scenario underscores the importance of punctuality when traveling by sea. Captains possess the authority to disembark passengers during a cruise. Various reasons can lead to a captain's decision to disembark a passenger mid-cruise. Disembarkation may result in passengers being left in foreign ports. Passengers are responsible for their own arrangements following disembarkation. Disembarkation policies are outlined in the cruise contract. Stranded passengers are responsible for their own return travel arrangements. This responsibility often leads to significant unexpected costs for the affected individuals. These costs can include new flight tickets, accommodation, and other unforeseen expenses. The financial burden is solely on the passenger due to the circumstances of being stranded. The lack of airline assistance exacerbates the financial strain on stranded travelers. Passengers must independently manage and resolve their travel disruptions. Purchasing a cruise ticket implies agreement to a contract with specific legal terms. This contract often includes waivers of certain legal rights for the passenger. Passengers may not be fully aware of the legal rights they are waiving when purchasing a cruise ticket. Unread contract terms can lead to unexpected legal consequences for cruise passengers. Contract clauses may include waivers of jury trials, mandating private arbitration for dispute resolution. Class action waivers within contracts prevent multiple plaintiffs from jointly suing a defendant. Private arbitration clauses require disputes to be resolved outside of the public court system. These clauses are often buried within lengthy contracts, making them easily overlooked. Arbitration often occurs in locations advantageous to the cruise line. Arbitrators may exhibit bias, potentially compromising impartiality. The selection of arbitrators can be influenced, leading to unfair outcomes. Contractual agreements may predetermine arbitration venues, limiting claimant options. The arbitration process may lack transparency, hindering fair dispute resolution. Injured passengers may receive small settlements following arbitration. Arbitration processes can be lengthy, often involving multiple stages of negotiation and review. Settlement amounts may be disproportionately small relative to the extent of the injuries sustained. Legal agreements may restrict injured parties from publicly discussing the details of their cases. Confidentiality clauses prevent open discussion, limiting public awareness of potential issues. Excursion operators with questionable safety records may continue operations. Cruise lines' legal protections can allow unsafe excursion operators to persist despite documented incidents. The legal framework surrounding cruise lines can inadvertently shield excursion operators from full accountability. This situation raises concerns about passenger safety and the effectiveness of oversight mechanisms. The continued operation of unsafe excursions highlights potential gaps in safety regulations and enforcement. The legal system, while valid, may restrict passenger autonomy. Limited power within the system can hinder passengers' ability to influence outcomes. Restricted access to justice can impede fair resolution of passenger grievances. The system's structure may not adequately support passenger rights and recourse. Passengers may face challenges in seeking remedies or redress within the existing legal framework. Overpacking can transform a relaxing cruise into a stressful ordeal. Hidden costs can unexpectedly inflate the overall expense of a cruise vacation. Medical emergencies at sea can lead to complex logistical and financial challenges. Navigating legal issues in international waters requires specialized expertise and resources. Safety hazards, such as slips and falls, pose risks to passengers on cruise ships. Passengers may unknowingly forfeit their rights to legal recourse through cruise contract clauses. Overpacking luggage can lead to security delays and potential removal of items. Security personnel may need to remove items from overpacked luggage to comply with regulations. Restricted items discovered during security checks will be confiscated. Passengers are responsible for ensuring their luggage complies with airline and security regulations. Efficient packing maximizes space and minimizes the risk of security issues. Checking luggage requirements before packing can prevent delays and ensure a smooth travel experience. Confiscated items are displayed to highlight prohibited objects. Each item is labeled with a clear explanation of why it is prohibited. The display serves as a visual reminder of rules and regulations. The purpose is to educate and deter individuals from possessing prohibited items. A world map highlights countries with strict medication laws. Medication restrictions vary significantly across different regions and countries. These laws can impact the availability and accessibility of certain medications. Factors influencing medication restrictions include regulatory frameworks, and cultural beliefs. Understanding these restrictions is crucial for international travelers and healthcare providers. Detailed information on medication restrictions is often available through government and international health organizations. A cabin card is swiped through a card reader. The card swipe initiates a digital transaction. A virtual wallet displays the balance before the transaction. Money is deducted from the virtual wallet after the card is swiped. The updated balance is clearly displayed in the virtual wallet. The cashless system facilitates a seamless transaction process. Onboard spending can accumulate rapidly, leading to unexpected expenses. A pie chart visually represents the distribution of onboard expenses. Dining, beverages, and shopping are common contributors to onboard spending. Tracking and budgeting onboard expenses can help prevent overspending. Unforeseen expenses can quickly inflate the total cost of a cruise vacation. Price comparison tables illustrate cost differences between services on land and on a cruise ship. Higher convenience and exclusivity on cruise ships often contribute to increased service costs. Cruise ship services may include additional fees or gratuities not immediately apparent in initial pricing. Comparing similar service packages on land and sea reveals potential hidden costs. Understanding price structures helps travelers make informed decisions about onboard spending. Domestic health insurance policies have defined geographical coverage areas. Within the covered area, the policy provides benefits as outlined in the insurance agreement. Outside the defined coverage area, domestic health insurance policies typically offer limited or no benefits. Travel insurance or international health insurance may be necessary for healthcare coverage outside the domestic area. Understanding the coverage zone is crucial to avoid unexpected medical expenses. A medical evacuation simulation involves a helicopter rescue operation. The simulation tracks and displays the costs associated with the helicopter operation. Fuel consumption represents a significant portion of the total operational costs. Personnel costs include the salaries and benefits of the flight crew and medical team. Equipment costs encompass the maintenance and depreciation of the helicopter and medical devices. Passenger death rates on cruise ships can be visualized through statistical graphics. Mortality statistics offer insights into the safety and risk factors associated with cruise travel. Graphical representations of mortality data facilitate a clear understanding of potential hazards on cruise ships. Visualizing passenger death rates helps assess and compare the safety records of different cruise lines. International laws vary significantly across different countries. Legal drinking age is an example of a law that differs internationally. Gun control laws are another area of significant international divergence. Healthcare systems are structured differently across nations, leading to variations in access and coverage. Punishments for similar crimes can vary drastically based on jurisdiction. Confiscated souvenirs often include items derived from protected species or culturally significant artifacts. Possession of these items violates international treaties and local laws designed to protect endangered wildlife and cultural heritage. The illegal souvenir trade contributes to the decline of vulnerable populations and the destruction of irreplaceable historical resources. Confiscation serves as a deterrent and helps preserve biodiversity and cultural integrity for future generations. Certain medications are banned or restricted in specific countries due to safety concerns or regulatory differences. These bans are often based on clinical trial data, adverse event reports, or differing medical standards. International travelers should verify the legality of their medications in their destination countries. Resources such as embassy websites and travel advisories provide information on medication regulations. Failure to comply with medication regulations can result in confiscation, fines, or legal penalties. Consulting with a healthcare professional before traveling can help ensure medication, compliance, and safety. A cruise ship loses contact with the outside world. Communication failure is often caused by severe weather conditions. The ship's communication systems are disabled by the storm. Loss of communication can lead to critical navigation errors. Passengers rely on various ship systems for communication capabilities. Satellite communication provides external connectivity for passenger communications. The internal network facilitates communication among passengers and ship personnel. The public address system is essential for broadcasting important announcements to all passengers. A figure begins to fall from a balcony towards the water below. The falling figure accelerates downwards, influenced by gravity. The figure impacts the water surface, creating a splash. The figure submerges into the water after the initial impact. The figure continues to sink further into the dark water. The simulation concludes with the figure at rest on the waterbed. A danger zone map highlights hazardous areas on a cruise ship deck. Color-coded areas visually represent different levels of potential risk. Symbols and icons provide clear warnings about specific hazards. The map is designed to improve passenger safety by increasing awareness of potential dangers. Clear visual communication ensures that passengers can easily identify and avoid hazardous locations. A comprehensive excursion safety checklist ensures operators address potential hazards. Pre-excursion planning involves risk assessment and contingency planning. Equipment inspection includes checking functionality and safety compliance. Emergency procedures cover communication protocols and evacuation strategies. Participant briefings ensure everyone is informed about safety guidelines. Regular safety audits verify adherence to the checklist and identify areas for improvement. A zipline accident simulation involves recreating a scenario where a participant experiences a fall or collision during the activity. Injury simulation visually demonstrates the potential consequences of equipment, malfunction, or user error on a zipline. The simulation may include scenarios such as cable breakage, harness failure, or collision with obstacles. Visualizing these accidents helps to train staff and participants in safety procedures and risk management. Liability disclaimers are commonly used by cruise lines to limit their responsibility for certain incidents. These disclaimers often cover events such as onboard accidents, injuries, or loss of personal belongings. The language in liability disclaimers is typically very specific to clearly define the scope of the cruise line's responsibility. Passengers should carefully review the liability disclaimer before booking a cruise. Understanding the terms of the liability disclaimer is crucial for passengers to make informed decisions. Liability disclaimers aim to protect cruise lines from extensive financial burdens related to unforeseen incidents. Buffet utensils can act as vectors for germ transmission. Germs spread from contaminated utensils to food items. Contaminated food items then spread germs to other utensils. The cycle of contamination continues as more people use the utensils. This process can lead to widespread contamination of the entire buffet. Proper hygiene practices are essential to prevent food contamination at buffets. Norovirus spreads rapidly in closed environments due to its high transmissibility. The virus can be transmitted through direct contact, contaminated surfaces, and airborne particles. Norovirus particles can survive on surfaces for extended periods, increasing the risk of indirect transmission. Poor hygiene practices, such as inadequate hand washing, contribute significantly to norovirus outbreaks. The small infectious dose of norovirus means that even a few viral particles can cause illness. Ventilation systems can accelerate the spread of airborne norovirus particles within a building. Medical bills on cruise ships often include charges for consultation, medication, and medical procedures. Consultation fees cover the cost of the physician's time and expertise in diagnosing and treating the patient. Medication costs reflect the price of drugs administered or prescribed during the medical treatment. Medical procedure charges encompass the expenses associated with specific treatments or surgeries performed on board. Food safety standards are implemented both on land-based establishments and cruise ships. Land-based food safety regulations are typically governed by local and national health agencies. Cruise ships adhere to international maritime regulations and are also subject to inspections by various port authorities. Both land-based establishments and cruise ships emphasize hygiene, proper food handling, and temperature control to prevent foodborne illnesses. A cruise ship begins to slowly depart from the dock. Passengers on the dock realize the ship is leaving without them. The ship's horn sounds, signaling its departure. The gap between the ship and the dock increases, emphasizing the missed connection. The cruise ship continues its journey, leaving the passengers behind. The simulation involves a passenger being inadvertently left behind at a foreign port. This scenario tests the system's response to a passenger manifest discrepancy. The simulation aims to identify potential failures in passenger tracking and communication protocols. The stranded passenger scenario evaluates the effectiveness of emergency response procedures. The outcome of the simulation determines improvements needed in logistical oversight and passenger safety measures. A return travel cost chart visualizes expenses associated with returning home from different ports. The chart compares transportation costs, accommodation fees, and potential miscellaneous expenses. Data is presented in a clear, accessible format to facilitate informed decision-making. The chart updates dynamically with real-time cost information. This tool helps travelers optimize their return journey by identifying the most cost-effective options. Cruise ticket contracts contain various clauses that passengers should be aware of. Specific clauses outline limitations of liability for the cruise line. These contracts may include clauses regarding dispute resolution, such as mandatory arbitration. Passengers should carefully review clauses related to cancellation policies and refund eligibility. The arbitration process begins with a dispute arising between parties. The parties agree to submit their dispute to arbitration, often based on a pre-existing contractual clause. An arbitrator or panel of arbitrators is selected to hear the case. The parties present evidence and arguments to the arbitrator SIL. The arbitrators deliberate and issue an arbitration award. The arbitration award is typically final and binding, subject to limited judicial review. A settlement agreement is a legally binding contract that resolves a dispute between parties. Settlement agreements often include a confidentiality clause to protect sensitive information. The confidentiality clause restricts the parties from disclosing the terms of the agreement. Violation of the confidentiality clause can result in legal penalties. Overpacking results in a suitcase bursting at the seams, indicating inefficient space utilization. Neatly packed suitcases demonstrate efficient space utilization and organization. Comparing overpacked and neatly packed suitcases highlights the benefits of efficient packing strategies. Efficient packing maximizes space and reduces the risk of damage to belongings. The initial advertised cruise fare often represents only a base price. Additional mandatory charges such as port fees and taxes are typically added to the base fare. Optional expenses, including excursions, onboard activities, and premium dining, can significantly increase the final cost. The final, total cost of a cruise can be substantially higher than the initially advertised fare due to these hidden and optional costs. A sudden medical emergency can lead to unexpected and substantial financial burdens. The cost of treatment, hospitalization, and medication contributes significantly to the overall financial strain. Emergency medical transportation, such as ambulance or helicopter services, can further escalate expenses. Long-term care and rehabilitation often add to the financial challenges following a medical crisis. The cumulative effect of these costs can result in significant debt and financial instability. In legal disputes, the scales of justice can be visually represented to symbolize fairness and impartiality. This visual representation illustrates a scenario where the cruise line holds a disproportionate advantage in a legal case. The tilted scale symbolizes the potential power imbalance between a large corporation and an individual in legal proceedings. Visual cues, such as the weight and size of objects on each side, can emphasize the disparity in legal resources and influence. This visual metaphor serves to illustrate the challenges individuals may face when seeking justice against powerful entities. Balconies present a potential fall hazard, especially at night. Reduced visibility in darkness increases the risk of accidents on balconies. Unprotected edges and low railings contribute to balcony fall risks. Obstructions or clutter on a balcony can create tripping hazards, increasing fall potential. Lack of awareness and caution near balcony edges can lead to accidental falls. A zipline cable has snapped, indicating a critical safety failure. The broken cable highlights the potential dangers associated with extreme sports activities. Emergency services are responding to the incident, underscoring the severity of the situation. This incident serves as a reminder of the importance of regular safety inspections and maintenance. Sharing utensils at a buffet can lead to cross-contamination. Contaminated utensils can transfer bacteria and viruses between individuals. Cross-contamination can occur even if individuals appear healthy. Buffet-style dining increases the risk of foodborne illnesses due to shared serving tools. Proper hygiene practices, such as using separate serving utensils, can minimize contamination risks. Maintaining food safety in buffets requires vigilance and adherence to hygiene protocols.